Chuck Lester online. He's a village board member in the village of Ilion. Of course, there's been obviously with an ongoing problem with the water. They seem to be making progress. But the latest topic is, just as today they're talking in nearby Frankfort about the addition of some 300-plus jobs for Tractor Supply, 68 jobs are being cut in Ilion at Remington Arms. It seems to be the roller coaster ride just continues. Chuck, what do you know other than the 68 jobs? How long before this happens? And are these permanent? Is this a permanent reduction?
I can't really say to that, answer that. The only thing I can say is that the number I heard is what you just said is 68 are going to be going from Ilion. Of course, all these folks have my sympathy and my wishes for good luck in a job search.
Yeah.
And as you stated, there's Tractor Supply is having their grand opening today, and I was going to try to attend that when it was scheduled for 10 o'clock in the morning, but they've moved it back till 2, so I won't be able to make it.
Yeah.
But I believe Trustee Ron Schoonmaker is going to be attending on behalf of the village.
Well, it's big for the entire valley. It's big for the region.
When I responded that I would go, I thanked the person I responded to for making the move to the business park, and I said this is a great thing for our area. You know, I'm not. I look beyond the borders of Ilion. That anything that comes in this area, whether it be if they start employing people at Nano, or if something develops in Utica, Rome, Dollersville, Little Falls, Frankfort, Mohawk, anywhere around this area, we're all, basically in spitting distance from each other.
Hey, Chuck,
is a benefit for our area.
I do wonder that Remington plant is, if you've not been to Ilion to really pay attention to it, it's enormous. It's old. It's enormous. The number of employees that work there, not even close to the 3,000 plus that used to, because you needed more people. You didn't have all that automation. It was your traditional assembly line. And so you can only imagine the portions of that building that aren't being used today. You see it in the parking lots. And you know, Ilion, those parking lots used to be all over the place surrounding Remington. And now they've either been sold off or weeds have grown in there. They're not used anymore because they don't have that number of employees. And they don't need that number. At some point down the road, to keep Remington and Ilion, it does seem like there needs to be a new facility at some point. Do you agree with that?
At one point in time, there was talk that they wanted to go to the business park and have a one-floor manufacturing, and that would have been a good thing, too. It would have been bad for Ilion to lose them, but it would be a good thing for Remington to stabilize themselves.
Yep.
I just think that the current layoffs are nothing more than the ebb and flow of normal business conditions with the gun industry.
Right,
I mean, when the Democrats took over the House, everybody probably went out and started buying guns like crazy because they know where the Democrats stand on gun issues. And now that that's kind of calmed down a little bit, I think that's probably a market trend has gone the other way.
Mm-hmm.
Any business has fluctuations up and down. And Remington is especially susceptible to that because they are a very specialized company. They're not real diverse in what they make.
And, of course, the water issue, you guys are continuing to move forward there. Again, the changes that you're making right now you're thinking about long-term, not just a quick fix.
Absolutely. That's we just received a week or so ago, 2 weeks ago. I can't really remember the time goes by so fast. But anyway, we got a $2.5 million grant for our transmission line from the wells to the treatment plant. And that's going to be a 16-inch transmission line that no matter what we do will always be part of a long-term answer to Ilion's water woes.
Yeah.
I listened to, I don't know if it was on your channel or the TV or whatever yesterday on the news that there's been positive feedback from the town of Schuyler.
Yeah, I saw that too.
The interest of if the water line came through, they'd want to tap into. And we've also, I'm not going to speak for Frankfort, but there's been some interest from the village of Frankfort also from what I hear in the wind. And, the idea that all these small communities can stay in the water business, it's just not fiscally the way to go. It really isn't, because you have to anticipate future regulations. You have to staff it. You have to meet standards. And right now, the standards that we meet are less than what the MV Water Authority has to meet because it's based on population size.
Listen, today it's Ilion. It could be municipalities around that. But we have an aging infrastructure, a very old infrastructure in the Northeast, and this is coming to everybody. You might be looking to Ilion and saying, it's them. This is going to be everywhere. So looking now, I think, for Schuyler and Frankfort, probably not a bad idea to be looking towards the future. So.
Well, years ago when I was on the municipal board, the Municipal Utilities Board, which is an advisory panel on water and light, the town of Herkimer, which some people consider it North Ilion, just the other side of the Cloverleaf Bridge there, the idea is that they reached out to us, want to know about us supplying them, the village of Ilion supplying them with water. And I know for a fact that MV Water, because we've had several meetings with them, they've already got engineering plans in place that they'd like to run from where they are stopping on Windfall Road, I think it is, right up through to Poland. They'd like to make that loop all the way around. And I honestly believe that this is part of the long-term regionalization of certain services that will benefit the residents that would be serviced by this line in the long term. And let's face it, we all, the populations decline, property values go down and stuff like that. We just can't afford to. We really can't afford to be in the water business. We're going to be in the water business for the foreseeable future, but as soon as I think long term, MV Water might be
the answer,
the final solution.
All right. Chuck
and that's
Lester,
not going to happen tomorrow.
Chuck Lester in the Village of Ilion, thanks for the update. We appreciate it, and we wish you the best on Remington. That's obviously.
Hey, Billy, I want to just say good. I'm very glad that everything worked out for you surgery wise. And you're my favorite semicolon.
Okay, that's very funny. I haven't heard it put that way. You're the first to do that one. So thank you, Chuck.
Well, I love you like a brother, so I had to needle you a little bit.
Thanks so much. I appreciate it greatly.
Okay, bro.
All right.